Hey guys, I'm Coach Jay, mental performance coach, and today in this video we're going to talk about one of my players that gave me the phone call and said, when the playoffs end, I'm done with baseball. And so, it's kind of hard to get those calls, and I haven't had a ton of those over the years. But on this particular person, I've been working with him for 4.5 years as a baseball client, and he was a very good pitcher. He did things the right way, and I think what happened was he basically got caught up in the fact that a lot of these baseball teams are not recruiting from the high school on the levels that they used to. 3 years ago, this client would have made it to a higher level, and he would have been able to play in college. But because of the transfer portal and just so many older kids coming into the market, they are not recruiting the high school kids like they used to. And so he is actually still in the playoffs. They're in the second round of the playoffs in the state of Georgia, and he did great the other night. Pitched 5 innings. I'm not going to give out the exact numbers, but he had a good game. But I think what's happening is, with the transfer portal, college coaches have made the decision they would rather get an older guy that's experienced, that's kind of gone through the grinder of the freshman year. They would rather go with that guy than the freshman or than the incoming freshman, the guy out of high school that they have to develop. And I think what we're seeing is they don't have time to develop players. They need guys ready to go. My particular client did have an injury at one point and had to have surgery, so there was a period of time where he could not work out the weights and do the training necessary, and ultimately I think that cost him. But the high school kids nowadays, if they are not doing things by the book, working with the right trainers, right pitching coaches, all these things, the field has gotten way too competitive. They're only taking the top guys. So all this being said, this is part of life, and your sport will end for you at some point, for everybody. And I think the reality is that when it does end, you have to cherish the memories and all the work that you've done, and you got to move on to the next chapter, and whatever that is, and that's just life. And so but he learned a lot of new skills. He will go at college a lot differently than he would have as a baseball player. But I feel like he had the opportunity to go play college baseball, but not at the level that he wanted. And so because it wasn't at the level he wanted, he opted not to play. And so he did not want to go to a lower level school. And that's a personal decision, and that's really up to him. But I think he's getting a little bit more serious about what he wants to do with a career. And ultimately, everybody coming out of college is going to have to get into a career at some point. So all that being said, this is the new normal for high school athletes. This is the hard truth about the transfer portal and how it is affecting kids that are coming out of high school. And you can either deny it, you can argue about it, but it really doesn't matter. The college coaches are all under pressure to win now, and they don't have time to develop guys. And so at the higher levels, they got to have guys ready to go right now. And if you're not that guy, then they just move on. So all that being said, I'm Coach Jay. I'm a mental performance coach. I work with athletes every single day. I'm listed on Psychology Today as Coach Jay. I'm also listed. My website is sportsintervention.com, and you can find me. You can find me there. So all that being said, God bless.